So at Pampered Chef, we sell 3 different kinds of bakeware, and they really do serve 3 different purposes. Now, I'm not saying you need all 3 in your kitchen. It just depends a lot on what kind of baking you like to do. And so depending on that will depend on which of these are going to serve you best. Okay, so we have our stoneware, we have our new Brilliance bakeware, and we have our traditional enamel glazed pans. So what's the difference between the 3? I'm going to start with the enamel glaze. So these are very lightweight pan. These are ideal for baking, especially if you're taking things somewhere. And the lids do pop off easily, but they do also stay on nicely, because I'm looking at this one where it's got a mark where it hit the pavement at church a couple weeks ago when I accidentally was carrying too many things and I dropped the pan. Lid stayed on, but it's got a little mark on it. So this is a very lightweight pan. They are very easy. They're all very easy to clean. This is ideal for baked goods like brownies, cakes, cinnamon rolls, light and flaky kinds of recipes. Not so much for main dishes. So like we have this in a rectangle size, which is great for cake or a pan of brownies. I wouldn't bake lasagna in these pans. They're very lightweight. I fear you would end up with burnt edges and burnt bottoms, which are not any fun, but they really are nice for just light baking. And obviously with the lids, they're great for transporting. So I took gluten-free brownies. We have a gluten-free brownie mix, if you didn't know that. And I had my friend here visiting who's gluten-free. So I baked those up in this pan. There's also a really great brownie recipe on the Pampered Chef website. Just scratch brownies, not gluten-free, but they are delicious, y'all. Like in my many years of baking, I had a brownie recipe that was my grandmother's that was kind of like my go-to. And then I tried box brownies, and they're just so much chewier and yummy. And so I stopped making the homemade ones until Pampered Chef introduced that recipe a few years ago. I was actually living at my mom's at the time, because I remember making them over and over to give to her neighbors and others who were helping us out. They're super easy. They are so yummy. They have that gooey, yummy box recipe texture, but not all the box recipe chemicals. So if you're trying to eat whole, you'll love that recipe. Again, it's on our website, and I'll try to remember to put it in the comments below this video later tonight. Feel free to say, hey, Mary Beth, don't forget to put the brownie recipe in the comments, and I will do that. So the second, these are really new to Pampered Chef, is our Brilliance bakeware. And these pans are more heavy duty than this one. Okay, so yes, you could use this for your brownies just fine, and they're going to fall right out. But these are also really nice pans for those heavier main dish kinds of recipes. So in fact, the recipe I'm making tonight would work really well in this pan. This would be a great pan. We have a 9x13 that would make a great lasagna pan. They do come with these lids. They snap on a little differently, and they are intended to help keep your food hot, but they are not intended to go in the oven, and they are also really helpful for storing in your fridge. So also, again, come with the lids. The lids snap on. These also transport nicely, but they don't have the height to the lid, because, again, this is more for like your baked goods. This is more for like baked meals, okay? And then our third, keep putting these out of the camera range. I want you to see all 3 of them, is our stoneware. Now, if you've known me for any length of time, you know I swear by stoneware. So that is what we will make our recipe in tonight. I think stoneware is just the best possible thing you can bake in your oven with. Now, why do I think that? Because nothing ever burns in it. Stones heat very evenly. They never get any hotter than the temperature your oven is set to, whereas metal can overheat. So if you think about a hot summer day, which I know today in New York it's really wicked cold, but if you think about the summertime and you go to grab your seatbelt buckle, and it's really hot, right? And it burns your hand a little. And the car isn't that hot, but the metal has taken in all that heat. And your sheet pans, your metal pans, do the same thing in the oven. Now we do an aluminum base kind of pan, which is much less likely to overheat the way most metals do. So, you know, again, these do bake nice and evenly, but I just think nothing beats stoneware, because the other thing stoneware does that metal can never do is that it breathes. So certainly for things like bread. So I made bread. I went live the other day and made a couple loaves of bread. And if you saw that, the crust on it, it's, where did I put it? Oh, it's over there, kind of behind a lot of things. But the crust on it, it's browned all the way beautifully, all the way around the crust of the bread. So this is still my preference, but I know for some people it's just too heavy, or they're afraid they're going to break it, or whatever the reason, and then that's okay, you know. The stoneware lovers out there, we're going to stay tried and true. I will say the newer stoneware is lighter than the old stones from years ago, but it's still stone, so it's still going to have some weight to it, and then you fill it with food and it's going to be a little heavier. So that is the 3 different kinds of bakeware that we carry, and the reasons behind the 3. This also has a lid available. Now this is actually, I think, going away at the end of this month, as far as maybe the set or maybe the lid or something is not going to be available at the end of February, after February 28th. So that, if this one interests you, make sure you reach out to me and we'll get one for you while it's still available. This lid can also be used as a baking tray, so that's kind of handy. And also it's really nice, a lovely little serving tray. It has a lip on it, so you could even put like brie or something on this and it's not going to run off. It has a pretty nice lip that's going to catch anything. So nice serving tray for something like brie, or I don't know, just a small plate of appetizers that you want to throw in to the oven for some whatever reason. So those are the 3. We're going to use stoneware tonight. The other differences, there is one other difference I forgot to mention. These metal ones are a 2-quart capacity, and the stoneware is a 2.5-quart capacity. So it is also a little bigger, holds a little more food. This recipe called for a 1.5-quart, which I think is pretty small based on what we're going to do. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in this pan. But we're going to find out together. So here we go.